I remember about 15 years ago when I landed my second consulting job. I was not supposed to be on the interview seats. I got in that particular day as the first candidate and I came in 1 hour before the interview scheduled. One of the interviewers told me afterwards that after they heard me speak, being the first who came, because they gave me, okay, since you came early, let's have you early. They told me that after I left and they listened to other candidates, I was a preferred because I was the first head. Now put my competency and knowledge aside, but I was preferred because I came early. That actually is what reflecting about, because there's a saying that says punctuality is the soul of a business. It's important to understand the power of punctuality. We live in a community where people really don't value time, where people really don't keep to time, where people really don't even function with time. Many of the time, what we see people do is they've created a concept called African time, which simply means coming late is allowed. And many of the time is a punishment to those who even come early. I read in one of my friend's book titled Good Success about the controversial and also argued case about the inventor of the telephone. History tells us that Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, but there's a controversy around it that happened, I think, 18th century. And the argument actually is about that it's not Alexander Graham Bell who did. There is another man called Elisha Gray, who was the first to invent the telephone. But the issue was Elisha Gray got to the patent office some few hours after Graham Bell did. And that is why Graham Bell got it. My late father used to tell me to time, else time will time you untimely. You must value time. You must be a punctual person. I remember reading a particular quote that says that if you want to know the value of 1 year, ask a student who had a carryover and need to have an extra year. If you want to know the value of 1 month, just ask the mother who gave birth to a premature baby. If you want to know the value of 1 day, ask anybody who was born on the 29th of February. If you want to know the value of 1 hour, ask the lover who is waiting for his spouse. If you want to know the value of 1 week, ask an editor who publishes every week. If you want to know the value of 1 minute, just ask somebody who just missed a train. If you want to know the value of 1 second, ask anyone who just narrowly escaped an accident. If you want to know the value of 1 millisecond, ask the person who came second at the Olympic sprint. This is just telling us one thing, that punctuality is the soul of a business. Now, how can I activate the power of punctuality in my life so that I can be a peak performer? I created an acronym called punctuality, and this acronym can actually be zeroed on some critical elements. The P talks about you being able to plan ahead. Many of the time, people don't keep to time because they don't plan. And if you are not planning ahead, you cannot be ahead. So you must plan ahead. Plan your week ahead. Plan your month ahead. That's the first thing you need to understand. The U talks about understand priorities. What are the key things that are actually important to you? Because if you don't set your priorities right, you definitely can't get it right. So you must understand what are the key priorities. N talks about never procrastinate. It's more like you snoozing an alarm clock. You definitely are going to miss it later on. So you need to ensure you are not procrastinating. Whatever you set to do, just take the bull by the horn. After you've gotten the N, go to C, create reminders. Reminders work. You can use your phone for reminders. You can use a calendar for reminders. Reminders helps you keep on track. I believe it's one of the great authors that once said that the faintest pen is better than the biggest memory. And that only works for you when you create reminders. T talks about track time. You need to know what time, how time flows in your life. There may be a need for you to use a time log to see how you spend your time. Because the truth is this, time is a currency. As a matter of fact, it's a currency of life. And how you use time, the time is how your life is going to become. Track your time. It shows to you what you've been doing. U talks about use the 10-minute rule. Now, what's a 10-minute rule? Make up your mind, for every appointment you have, you will arrive 10 minutes ahead. This is one of the key things that will help you build punctuality into your schedule and into your system. And when you begin to plan ahead and say, you know what, I want to get to anywhere I'm going to, arrive for this meeting 10 minutes ahead, it will shock you how much your value system and how people will value you for what you actually do. A, align with purpose. Now, what does this mean? Add punctuality to your value system, and this will help you value time. And the funnest issue is when you value time, it will shock you how far you can go. L talks about learn from mistakes. Sometimes you'll have gone from meetings and you didn't plan ahead. You entered into traffic and you got there late. You have to be apologizing. One of the critical things it does for you, it devalues you. So you need to learn from your past mistakes and how you've actually done things wrong or took the wrong route. Learn from your past mistake. High, invest in tools. What kind of tools? Get a good phone, get a planner, get a calendar, get an app that supports time management. Then T talks about train your habits. Repetition builds reading, and punctuality must be practiced. You need to ensure you actually train yourself to become a better person when it comes to punctuality. And the last one is the why. Why here talks about yield excuses. Stop giving excuses for being late. Everybody lives in your city. Not everybody gets to an appointment late. Stop giving excuses for arriving late, and stop patronizing the African time mentality. Why? Because punctuality is the soul of a business. I look forward to seeing you at the peak. God bless you.